Good morning, I'm Shibani Pandey. Let's begin with the top stories. Dispute within the unified Maoist escalates. Bhattarai faction resigns from Central Committee following dispute. More than 60 people reported dead in Kenya after drinking homemade alcohol. Dozens of others said to have been blinded. Today is the second last polling day in India, voting to be held in 7 states. And Nepal playing against Afghanistan in the final group match of the ACC Premier League. Dispute within the unified Maoists has further intensified. The party's national convention, organized to ease tensions, actually saw matters get worse. Leader Baburam Bhattarai faction left the Central Committee following the dispute. The faction has accused the other leaders of blocking difference of views and trying to impose their ideas on others. At yesterday's meeting, Chairman Pushpakamal Dahal had proposed the names of 11 Central Committee members. Bhattarai, who went on the podium after Dahal, said that he would not accept any position in the party. He has also requested his name be removed from the position of Central Committee. Bhattarai said that although he would not be an office bearer anymore, he would continue to be a part of the communist movement. The names of all the leaders from the Bhattarai faction have been removed from the Central Committee in response to their request. Bhattarai is reported to have left for Kathmandu suddenly after walking out of the committee meeting. The 6-day national convention of the Unified Maoists in Biratnagar ended yesterday. Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you SMS us your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And our question for you today is, why has the dispute within Unified Maoists widened after the national convention? Options are A, intimidation from Dahal's camp, B, Bhattarai faction's arrogance, and C, lack of process. Now, voting for that question is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 8080 to share your opinion with us. Now, 3 months have passed since the government was formed under Prime Minister Sushil Koirala. However, the government has not been able to appoint officials to constitutional bodies and diplomatic units. While the failure to appoint secretaries to some ministries has affected their operations, the government has demonstrated no zeal in taking decisions. The government has shown no interest in appointing officials to posts in constitutional and administrative units, which have been vacant for years. Many important decisions have been taken since the Constituent Assembly's first meeting on the 22nd of January. However, the Constituent Assembly is yet to take full shape. The Legislature Parliament and Constituent Assembly's 26 parliamentarians are yet to be elected. The main parties are undecided on the distribution of the 26 parliamentarians. Likewise, ambassadors of 16 countries are yet to be appointed. India has been without a Nepali embassy for the past 30 months. Different constitutional bodies are also yet to receive final shape. Expansion of the cabinet has also been stalled, compelling the Prime Minister to handle 3 portfolios. Meanwhile, government spokesman and Minister for Information and Communication, Minendra Rizal, has claimed that the government has been successfully executing its portfolio. He said the present government's work was to prepare a conducive environment for constitution writing. Rizal was of the opinion that the government had been able to help parties reach an understanding on the thematic committees. He said that comparing the 6-month period before the election and after it would point to the progress that had been made. He said the remaining 26 members of the CA would soon be nominated. Rizal also said the government was preparing to announce the budget in June. He said a new media policy was in the offing. We had asked the newly elected office bearers of the Nepalese Federation of Journalists about their future plans for the organization. Before we go for a short break, here's a look at what they said.
जनता को आवाज
व्यावसायिक पत्रकारिताको मर्यादालाई कायम राख्दै श्रमजीवी पत्रकारहरूको हकितको लागि नै म अगाडि बढ्नेछु।
सम्पूर्ण श्रमजीवी पत्रकारहरूको लागि सामाजिक सुरक्षा र समान अभिवृद्धिको नै हाम्रो मुख्य एजेन्डा हुनेछ।
श्रमजीवी पत्रकारहरूको श्रमको सम्मानसहित महासङ्घलाई आर्थिक पारदर्शिता र सुशासनयुक्त बनाइनेछ र महासङ्घलाई आम श्रमजीवी पत्रकारहरूको अपनत्व हुने खालको कार्ययोजना निर्माण गरेर लागिने।
पेशागतको हकको सुरक्षा, अर्को श्रमजीवी पत्रकारहरूको पेटको सुरक्षा, यी दुई मुद्दामा मेरो सक्रिय पहल रहनेछ।
मफसलमा काम गर्ने पत्रकार साथीहरूका समस्या, रेडियोमा काम गर्ने पत्रकारका समस्या र सम्पूर्ण पत्रकारका समस्या जुन पेशागत सुरक्षा र सामाजिक सुरक्षाको ग्यारेन्टीका लागि म आफ्नो भूमिका निर्वाह गर्छु।
अहिलेको महासङ्घले खास गरी मफसलको मिडिया त्यहाँका सञ्चारकर्मीलाई अधिकारका निम्ति उनीहरूको क्षमता अभिवृद्धिको निम्ति र पेशागत मर्यादालाई अगाडि बढाउनका निम्ति महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका निर्वाह गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने मलाई लाग्छ।
समावेशी अल्पसङ्ख्यक र पछाडि परिएका समुदायलाई कसरी त्यहाँ भित्राउने र उनीहरूको आवाज कसरी बुलन्द गर्ने भन्ने कुरामा नै मेरो जोरदार भूमिका रहन्छ।
पत्रकारहरूका लागि श्रमको मूल्य बोध गर्नुपर्छ र मूल्य बोध गर्नका लागि त्यो सङ्गठनलाई त्यही ढङ्गको ढाँचामा लैजानुपर्छ र त्यो भनेको ट्रेड युनियनको अभियानमा यसलाई लैजानुपर्छ।
Welcome back. The fate of Everest expeditions have been in jeopardy since the 18th of April avalanche. In the meantime, mountaineers have also started abandoning their expeditions. Some of those who are waiting at the base camp have returned to Kathmandu. Some have been seeking permission to climb other mountains instead. Others are still waiting at the base camp, hoping to ascend the mountain. The tourism department has said it is unclear how many mountaineers have returned and how many are still at the base camp. 335 people had registered for Everest expeditions this year. The Everest climbing season became uncertain this year after the Sherpas, considered the backbone of the Everest expeditions, decided to abandon to mourn the loss of their 16 colleagues. On to some international updates. More than 60 people are reported to have died in Kenya after drinking home